Can I have everyone's attention, please? We're about to begin. A mother, a hairstylist just trying to make a living for her child, not knowing that her and her baby boy were going to die in the same day. A father just coming from a store, just wanting to make it home, and not knowing in 9 minutes and 29 seconds later, he would never see his daughter Gianna again. A brother, accountant, well educated, just going home to sit down and relax and have a bowl of ice cream, not knowing that that was going to be his last meal. A sister, a healthcare worker working on the front lines in a pandemic, going home to rest, not knowing that she would never open her eyes again. A grandchild, the tender age of 12 years old, playing with a toy, not knowing that he would not make it to the age 13. That's why we are here, to honor these individuals and many like them. We come together, different communities as one, to stand united, to agitate for change and reform for a better way, a new day, so these people, these individuals will know they didn't die in vain. And also this week, I have to mention, this is also the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa massacre, one of the most, it is one of the darkest days in this country that we don't talk about. And we need to honor them as well. So as we march in their memory and honor those individuals, we will say their name in every community, in every corner. We will remember them. A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a grandchild. That's what they were. A community, our community. Humans just wanting to make it to the next day. So with that being said, I thank you all for being here as we are here to honor these individuals so they know that they didn't die in vain.
Baha'u'llah said, O children of men, know ye not why we created you all from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the other. Ponder at all times in your hearts how you were created, since we have created you all from one same substance. It is incumbent upon you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, to eat with the same mouth, and to dwell in the same land. That from your inmost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you, O concourse of light. Heed ye this counsel, that ye may obtain the fruit of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory. O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from the same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence, they are all thy servants, and all mankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined through the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all. Thou hast provided for all, dost shelter all, conferrest life upon all. Thou hast endowed each and all with talents and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, raise aloft the banner of the oneness of mankind. O God, establish the most great peace. Cement thou, O God, the hearts together. O thou kind Father, God, gladden our hearts through the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all in the stronghold of thy providence. Thou art the mighty and powerful. Thou art the forgiving, and thou art the one who overlooketh the shortcomings of all mankind.
All right, so first of all, let me just say thank you so much, Mr. Gordon, for the gracious welcome. And thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I really do appreciate it. Humbled and grateful for the opportunity to come before you and address you briefly. There we go. There we go. Some people say I love a mic, right? But look, so what I want to just say is, first of all, I want to extend you greetings on behalf of the entire city of Greenbelt, our staff, our employees, but also on behalf of my colleagues on the Greenbelt City Council. When I was thinking about this, actually, really, I just thought about what I wanted to say today, particularly as we think about the importance of connecting across Greenbelt, the importance of connecting across this city. And the reason that it's so important is, I'll tell you that personally, I believe that there is a need for connections across the city because there is a disconnect in this city. There's a disconnect in this city, there's a disconnect in this county, there's a disconnect in this state, and there is a disconnect in this country. Now, in order to illustrate that point, I want you guys to think about a phone. This is my phone right here. Actually, ironically enough, today, I paid my phone bill. Grateful to be able to pay my phone bill. If I did not pay my phone bill, I would not have a connection on this phone. I would not have service. So the first thing that I want to let you guys know is that it is important to have connection, but you cannot have a good connection without good service. You cannot have a good connection without good service. That's number one. Number two, as we think about my phone, your phone, everybody's phone here, what do you do when you have an issue with your phone? You call customer service. And when you call customer service, there's a line that pretty much everybody will hear, no matter what company that they have, no matter what service they have. What is that line? This call may be monitored for quality assurance purposes. What I want to encourage each and every person who is here today, who wants to see better connections in the city, better service in this city, is to be very intentional about monitoring the service that you receive in this city. The service that you receive from your public officials at the city level, the service that you receive from public officials at the county level, the service that you receive from government officials and employees at the state level, and the service that you receive from individuals at the national level. All of this service is important for the connections, the strong connections, the good connections that we want to see across this community. And I'll close on this, and this is an uncomfortable thing, but I want to say it because today, of course, we're hearing a lot about a lot of different things. This week, right? This is the anniversary, for example, of the killing of Mr. Floyd, right? And I'm watching the TV. And I'm hearing over and over today from all kinds of individuals this repeated phrase, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. And it's music to my ears. But just because I'm hearing my favorite song, it does not mean I'm receiving good service. Because at the same time that I'm hearing that, we are seeing folks trying to water down the police reform legislation that we see making its way around Capitol Hill. In the city, we hear a lot of good songs. We hear individuals talking about wanting to help people. We hear individuals talking about wanting to make sure that we get through this pandemic from an economic standpoint and from a public health standpoint. And all I want to leave you with is make sure that you are observing, monitoring, and listening for quality assurance purposes. I thank you guys so much for allowing me to address you this evening.
It's a pleasure to be here in Greenbelt. So I just wanted to start off. A few things to hit on. Get to know all your officials. Your elected officials locally, statewide, even in your county. Get to know them personally. Make sure you send emails. Make sure you show up at their offices with questions. You know, pester them. Become that super voter. Because at the end of the day, that's who they write laws for. They write laws for their super voters, the people that are voicing their opinion. In the criminal legal system, we have, of course, the police department that plays a part. We have the justice system that plays a part. We have the executives that, make executive decisions. We have the legislators who legislate. So as a people, we have to continue to play our part. We have to continue to advocate. Don't let them tell you that grassroots direct action doesn't make an impact, right? Don't let them tell you that. Because at the end of the day, when we hit the streets, people pay attention, the cameras are rolling, and what is important is that we are out there beating the pavement whether the cameras are rolling or not, right? Because we believe in the cause. We believe what we're fighting for. I see very, very great diversity right here in the city of Greenbelt, right? And that is representative across the nation, across seas, overseas. We see that energy, and we have to continue advocating, right? Like somebody asked me the other day, when will we stop protesting? When we stop dying, right? Simple as that. Simple as that. At the end of the day, policy as the follow-up is important, but protest is always going to be where sparks change. And with that being said, let's march today.
All right, it's been a long year. And I want us to take a moment before I even say anything, just to center ourselves in why we're here today. Center ourselves in the journey that's brought us here. For some people, they were activated after that horrible video and the murder of George Floyd. And some people, this has been your journey your whole life, right? Because you came out of the womb someone that was impacted, someone that was seen different. And so I want us all to be centered around why we're here today. We're here today because we're still not free. We still not free. We are still not free. And it's not just people that look like me that are still not free. It's all of our brown brothers and sisters, our LGBTQ sisters and brothers. And it's the intersection of understanding that until we all come together and we can say Black Lives Matter, and we know that that doesn't mean no one else matters. We know we're just taking a moment to say we matter, right? Because we know that when we elevate the issues and the problems of the least of us, that is when we can center and rise as a whole, right? And so I say all of that to say, I see a lot of allies in this space. And when we talk about being an ally, what does that mean? And I feel like that's the birth between how do we move from ally to an accomplice in this work, right? Because when we talk about being an accomplice, I tell people that if you want to stand in this movement, it is going to cost you something. It is going to be painful. It is going to hurt. And if it doesn't, you're not doing it right. And if it doesn't, you're not doing it right. And so that's what I want everyone to walk away with today, that sees themselves as an ally, because maybe you don't see yourself as a directly impacted person. I want to talk to you for a moment. I want you to start to hurt in this struggle. I want you to start to sacrifice in this struggle. Because I'm telling you, on the other side of pain and sacrifice and being uncomfortable because you're having uncomfortable conversations with your family and your coworker, on the other side of that is our freedom. On the other side of that is our liberation. Because this is more than a moment. They wanted this to be a moment. They wanted this to just be a glimpse, so it could be a memory, so it could be forgotten. But what we did is build a movement, and this movement has been paid for. It has been paid for with blood and tears and screams and pain. So we're not here just to remember. We're here to fill ourselves up so that we can continue to fight and build this movement, so we can energize ourselves. This is a reset, a year later to reflect on not what others have done. Yes, we want our elected officials to do for us. We want them to move policy, but I want you to reflect on what have you done. I want you to reflect, what have you done to change the circumstances of racism in your community? Because you cannot only hold other people accountable for progress. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to do that. But you also have to hold yourselves accountable. Each of us, we have the power every single day that we wake up to change it. To change every single person that we reach out to, we communicate with. When you see and hear racism, you stop it right there. Right in that moment. Because racism is not a disease someone's born with, it is taught. And if their family and their friends don't want to unteach it, we can unteach it. In our classrooms, in our neighborhoods, in our churches. We can unteach it every single moment we interact with an individual. We can strip down hatred in this country. So then we might not have to stand here. Our grandchildren might not have to stand here in memory of other people that are gunned down like animals in the street because of the color of their skin. So when you leave here today, after we've come and we fellowshipped and we've poured into each other so we can have one more just ounce of energy to go, I want you to sit down and say, what can I do? And that can look like those conversations. That can look like working for someone's campaign that's going to change something. Let me tell you, I am tired of voting for the options they give me. Do you hear me? I am tired of voting for the options they give me. All of these people with fancy names and seats and checks, when they're nowhere to be found, we need to start electing the people in the shadows, the people that do the work no matter the accolades. And what we have to do is stand behind them firmly and strongly, knock doors, donate, do all of the things, change the paradigm, change the conversation, take back the power. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take back the power. Say it. We're going to take back the power. 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 Oh, that sounds good. Thank you guys for having me and sharing this space today.
See what I say, profound. See?
George Floyd, say his name. Breonna Taylor, say her name. DeMonte Ward Blake, say his name. Emmanuel Orkatuga, say his name. India Kager, say her name. Tawan Boyd, say his name. Spencer McCain, say his name. Keith Davis Jr., say his name. Jeffrey Evans, say his name. Derek Selman, say his name. Emmanuel Oates, say his name. Kevin Cooper, say his name. Sean Kennedy, say his name. Anton Black, say his name. Ryan and Ivania Lee, say their name. Billy Owen Smith, say his name. Corin Gaines, say her name. Freddie Gray, say his name. Peyton Ham, say his name. James Lionel Johnson, say his name. Dominique Williams, say his name. Leonard Popa, say his name. Taisha Henry, say his name. May all these lives know that they are honored and loved. And may we know that we are one.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice.